This is Fast Food Face Off, and today we're doing the Burrito Beatdown.
Fast food, face off! Fast food, face off!
What we're going to be doing is pretty much identical burritos from both of these companies. What I ended up getting was a queso guacamole adobo chicken burrito, and both of them are filled with pinto beans, white rice, pico de gallo, sour cream, and lettuce. Without further ado, let's crush some calories.
With a degree from the Culinary Institute of America and an $85,000 loan from his father, Steve Ells left his position as star restaurant sous chef to open Chipotle in July of 1993 in a remodeled ice cream shop in Denver, Colorado. Initially created to help fund a fine dining restaurant and modeled after taquerias in San Francisco, Chipotle began serving over 1,000 burritos daily after only 1 month of business. Now with over 2,600 international locations, Chipotle has solidified its place in fast food culture. What happens when you combine an investment banker from Colorado and a Culinary Institute-trained New York chef? The answer: you get California-inspired mission-style burritos from Qdoba. Founded in Denver, Colorado in 1995 and originally named Zuma Fresh, founders Anthony Miller and Robert Hauser have built Qdoba into a fast food titan with over 700 plus locations in North America.
Okay, first is the Chipotle Burrito. Just to give you guys a little bit more insight and understanding to the weight of some of the food that you're eating, we're gonna weigh the burrito today. So let's get a weight on it. So that's sitting at just a little over 26 ounces. Going into this, a lot of people would probably think one of these burritos might weigh about a pound, pound and a half at most, and that's just not the case. That being said, let's get into it. Even without weighing these, I knew that they were gonna be heavy. Just watching the person behind the counter roll up and try to fold these burritos was pretty entertaining in itself. The kid that made this one was actually so proud of himself, he audibly said, "Pretty proud of myself," when he was done rolling this. I don't know how clean this burrito beatdown is going to be. I'm going to try to make it not look like, a mukbang video for you guys. I will do my best to keep the slurping and, food all over my face to a minimum. Let's try that first bite. That was really good. Right away, the first thing that you get hit with is that queso. You get a little bit of the spices, a little bit of the heat from the adobo chicken. You get the crunch from the fresh lettuce and, the freshness from the pico de gallo. That first bite was a really, really good bite. As I push in further into the burrito, I'm getting that guacamole now that's kind of mellowing out the little bit of spice and a little bit of heat from the adobo chicken and then from the queso, which is nice. Obviously, the guacamole is extra. It's almost a parody at this point. But you understand why it's extra. It's very good guacamole and they give you a very good amount of it. Also to note, there's a bunch of different options for both of these places as far as the protein section goes. Different forms of chicken and pork and steak, some vegetable and vegetarian options. The big thing with Chipotle that kind of separates itself from its competitors is that they don't do ground beef. They do a very good job with the quality of their protein because the founder of the company read an article as he was opening up Chipotle that had talked about antibiotic-free chicken and beef, so he kind of just made it a part of the culture of Chipotle. When you get a good burrito like this, it reminds you why you enjoy the burritos at some of these places. The guacamole, the pinto beans, the pico de gallo, all of it, it just marries so well together. And the quality that Chipotle gets from the ingredients that they use, it's not a surprise why they have such a relevance in the culture of America. if I'm having to give an overall kind of review, it's delicious. Again, I understand why, Chipotle is such a part of pop culture in America. It's really, really good as far as burritos go for fast food style chains. I do think certain amount of freshness and quality of ingredients when I think Chipotle. I mean, when I think of companies like McDonald's, when I think of companies like Taco Bell, the first thing that pops in my mind is not the quality of the ingredients. If I were to have to say that there was something here that maybe I enjoyed less than all the other ingredients, it would have to be the queso. The rice is very good. It's a good rice for burritos. You get the flavor of the cilantro that they put in there. The quality of the guacamole is good. It's, earthy and fresh. You get the freshness of the pico de gallo, and it all works and plays very well with one another. The adobo chicken, it's seasoned just right. The doneness of the pinto beans, it's not just complete mush like refried beans. It's very good. But the queso, I feel, is just a little lacking in some overall balance and flavor. So up next, we have Qdoba. As you can see, that's a pretty hefty burrito. Again, I'm gonna weigh it for you guys so that you get an understanding of what you're eating. It would stink to kind of think that you're eating something according to a menu that's supposed to be, somewhere between 900 to 1200 calories, and then find out that when you actually eat it, it's probably closer to something like 1500. Let's get a weight on it. Again, pretty close to about 26 ounces. It's just a little bit under. It was definitely more than I thought it was going to be weight-wise. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of burrito, but you definitely get your money's worth. Let's see what Qdoba's got going on. The first thing that you get with this is the queso. To the dismay of Chipotle fans, the queso in this is better. Consistency of the cheese, I would say I probably enjoy more for Chipotle. It's a little bit thicker. The queso here is a little bit thinner. Flavor that they got from this queso is better, in my opinion. Your mileage may vary, than Chipotle's. I try to go as open-minded into these reviews as I can because I definitely have my bias and my preference, but a lot of time I end up being wrong just because it's been a long time since I've had some of these things. The quality of the chicken, my preference would be with Qdoba. I think that they make it so that it's a tender cut of chicken. I think that that's kind of what ends up overdoing it for me at Chipotle, is that they oversear or overcook their chicken. But when you overcook chicken, it becomes a little bit chewier and it's not a pleasant bite. I'm team crispy bits all the way, but I think with a cut like chicken, it needs to still have some tenderness to it. And Qdoba gets that done. And in my opinion, Chipotle does it. I do think that their white rice, the cilantro flavor you get from it, is better with Chipotle. I think all you're really getting is just some decent cooked white rice kind of with Qdoba. The guacamole, which I didn't know, is actually free at Qdoba. When they give you the guacamole, you're only getting a very small amount of it. So it really depends on how big of a fan of guacamole you are in your burritos. Also, something that I noticed about, Qdoba's burrito as a whole as opposed to Chipotle's is, while all the ingredients are the same and you would imagine that it's going to give you the same taste, but just the overall seasoning on the burrito itself, it just feels as a whole that it's a bit under seasoned considering the type of cuisine that it is. When you think, Mexican, you think fresh, bold flavors, you think of earthy spices, fresh garden ingredients. I don't know that that's really what's coming through here. The only thing that really was a standout that you get, throughout is the queso, but I don't know if that's a good thing in the sense that I do think maybe it overshadowed all the other ingredients. The rice here at Qdoba is a bit not only on the bland side, but undercooked. I don't know whether or not you're familiar with the consistency of undercooked rice. It's almost like al dente pasta in a bad way, and it's unappealing. Hashtag team last bite. So here's the rundown on the Burrito Beatdown. Somewhere here, we're going to have the total calorie count for you guys, which is going to be varied. We're going to have what the suggested calorie count is from the guidelines from these restaurants. But if I'm being honest, they're probably more than even what we're putting up here. That being said, stacking these against one another, they were surprisingly more different than I thought they would be. The chicken at these companies, in my opinion, is completely different. The quality of Qdoba's chicken, the tenderness, the moistness, the mouthfeel of the chicken is better than the chicken that I got at Chipotle. The fresh ingredients that you get from Chipotle, the pico de gallo, the salsas, the lettuce, anything that's, you know, a gardeny kind of fresh thing that you can put on a burrito, it's just heads and shoulders above where Qdoba is.
Head and Shoulders. The dandruff shampoo? Yeah, that's his stuff.
Everything that I had that was a fresh element to the burrito just was lackluster and really didn't offer anything to it. The queso, in my opinion, is also a no-brainer as far as quality goes over Chipotle. It's a little bit on the thinner side. That becomes a preference thing. Your mileage may vary. But the flavor for Qdoba was just much better than Chipotle, which is surprising because this one looked better. They were pretty much similar in the guacamole range. If I had to give one over the other, I would give it to Chipotle just because the overall balance of the flavor was better. The consistency was about the same, but again, the freshness just kind of rang through here. So, factoring in those things, let's go also into the value that you get. So, I thought that Qdoba would be more expensive, but in this instance, it wasn't. And the differentiating element there was the guacamole. If you were to get a chicken burrito with guacamole at Chipotle, it's going to run you about $10 before tax, which is a pretty good value. It's a meal that's going to hold you over. It's worth the $10. Burrito with guacamole at Qdoba was $8.30, which is a great, you know, value for the quantity and the amount of food that you're getting. It's about $1.70 difference. But if we take guacamole out of the equation, the chicken burrito at Chipotle was $7.70 before tax, whereas the chicken burrito at Qdoba, again, is $8.30. I mean, it's kind of what you value in a company. Do you want more food for the dollar, kind of better bang for your buck just on quantity? Then I would say you're probably better off going to Qdoba. But if you want to spend, you know, the extra $1.50, I do think you're going to get a better quality and caliber of burrito and ingredients at Chipotle. Final review, I think I enjoyed the chicken at Qdoba more than I enjoyed the chicken here. I enjoyed the queso at Qdoba more than I enjoyed the queso here. And I went into this being Team Qdoba. If I had to give a nod for one to the other, surprisingly, even to me, I'm going to go Chipotle. The quality of all the ingredients as a whole, how it works together, the balance of flavor, the mouthfeel, the overall quality of the ingredients is just better, period, at Chipotle. Your mileage may vary. Again, I understand people are, you know, fierce about what place they choose to give their money to when it comes to these things, but I would say for my dollar, if I had to go and get a burrito, I'm definitely going to go with Chipotle. Thanks again for watching, you guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Head on over to Instagram and see what the Tasty Vibe Tribe is up to and give us a follow. Comment to let us know, are you Team Chipotle or are you Team Qdoba? Also, what do you like in your burrito? And lastly, from all of us here at Fast Food Face Off, if you are what you eat, always remember to eat amazing.